Broadcasting live from Iona University, this is WIUR Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Ball Knowers. Yes, we are back again. It is a cold Thursday. Everyone's out, and there's a lot of snow on the ground. But the rumor mill and the hot stove for baseball is at a high for what it's been like the last couple of weeks. January,
they finally
nothing
turned
happened.
the stove back on.
The stove is back on, but we're not starting there today because we could talk about the incredible game in the Four Nations face-off, which we will be discussing later today. We could talk about the Super Bowl and how the Chiefs got destroyed, which made me feel very good about myself, even though my prediction was wrong. But we are beginning with a developing story out of Florham Park again. It seems like that happens every single time we do one of these videos.
Thank the Jets for making news for
us.
You
see, when there's content needed, the Jets bring it to us. And here's the news out of Florham Park. It seems that the Jets will officially be cutting Aaron Rodgers as a likely post-June 1st cut. Aaron Rodgers is no longer a New York Jet as of this moment.
They didn't State Farm.
I don't know. I mean,
no discount double check.
No
discount double check is gone. Apparently, the rumors of him getting traded to us were longer. That time period was longer than the amount of wins he had on the team.
The amount of games he had.
The amount of games he played, it felt like at one point. But do we want to start with some facts, or do we want to get some comments first?
Let's just get to one fact first. The Rodgers saga on the Jets was a circus. It was a circus, it did not lead to any real good results on the football field. When Rodgers was traded to the Jets, the expectation was that he would elevate them to a Super Bowl contender with the talent on both sides of the ball
and providing at least average quarterback play.
The expectation was that he would provide elite quarterback play.
Well, at the very least,
the expectation is that he would be Aaron Rodgers, but a lot of people forget. Dude, once you put on that uniform, it does something to you. Robbie, I'm sorry that I'm sure you've had this thrown in your face a million times, but something happens when you put on a Jet jersey and you put on a Jet helmet and you sign a contract with the New York Jets that it just does something to your ability as a football player.
Not for everybody, for some, not all.
It does something to your luck, especially at the quarterback position.
Yes, that is true. That is
true. The Jets haven't seen consecutive years of good quarterback play, or even good, I'm being generous, but successful quarterback play since Mark Sanchez.
I wouldn't agree with that.
2009, 2010. Okay, let's
Ryan Fitzpatrick when we
one year. I'm talking about consecutive years.
The year before that, he wasn't that terrible.
I'm talking about in 2015, Ryan Fitzpatrick was fantastic, but the year after, he was terrible. And then I'm talking about consecutive years.
No, I know what you're saying.
We haven't seen that out of a New York Jets since Mark Sanchez. Yeah. And not to mention the media circus that came with Rodgers, with him going on Pat McAfee and him basically having control of the team's personnel moves. And it was just, he was given so much control in such little time. It was like the second he stepped in the building, he ran that place.
Basically.
I mean, the way Rich Cimini, who I love, by the way, worded it perfectly. The trade concept made sense.
Yes.
The outcome was disastrous. And I think that's putting it lightly. Because if you remember how the Aaron Rodgers tenure started, well, on play number 4, some things happened. MetLife Turf is undefeatable. I guess the MetLife Turf has more wins than the Jets have had in the last 5 years. But my favorite part about this whole saga, as I dropped my AirPods, kind of like Aaron Rodgers dropped the ball against the San Francisco 49ers a couple of times, is the dead cap hit. Who do you well, Aaron Rodgers just broke a record for the largest dead cap hit in Jets history. So shout out Aaron Rodgers.
What's the number?
Which season are we talking about?
On dead cap. Like what's the
there's a dead
number?
cap for 1 year, and then there's a dead cap for a second year.
Okay.
The
break
first
it down
year,
to me. What's the first year and the second year?
I believe, I could be mistaken because the article did not explain this very well. I was going to check it, but unfortunately I got locked out of my phone again because I kept hitting.
No way.
He's getting muted for that. The first year is $25 million, which by itself is the largest dead cap in Jets history, breaking the record set by Trumaine Johnson. Shout out Trumaine Johnson. I never liked him. That's a corner who did not pan out and that we signed in free agency, which that just explains the terrible GM we had before Joe Douglas. But then we get to the second year, the coveted second year, the year he was supposed to leave. Is the third largest dead cap hit ever, and it's for one season, breaking the record of Matt Ryan. $41 million. 41. The only people.
Wow.
What is the Mets payroll?
What is it?
Wow.
So for reference, he is making pay. The dead cap of the Jets is more from Aaron Rodgers than the entire Miami Marlins payroll.
They signed someone finally. Actually.
So here is the question I have for you. Aaron Rodgers by himself in the 2 contracts that involve dead money for him.
Do not play for the Jets.
To not play for the Jets or the Packers, because the Packers are part of this from this new contract.
God,
where does he rank in all-time dead cap?
He's got supply
including both contracts. Where does he rank?
At the very least, top 3.
Oh no, it's greater than top 3.
First.
He is number 1.
Jeez.
He has surpassed Russell Wilson.
Wow.
In total dead cap.
Holy.
The total dead cap, based on what I've heard, this might not be fully accurate, so I might have to redo the math again. But on the raw numbers, the first dead cap was $40.313 million.
That's insane.
So let's search this up.
Yikes.
Aaron Rodgers dead cap hit. I believe what they said was they changed it. Okay. So I read it wrong. So I read it wrong.
Jets.
So first of all, I read it wrong. It's $49 million total. So they explained it wrong in one article, and then they just fixed it like 2 minutes ago.
Great job.
To another article.
The
Shout
professionals. The professionals.
Which, by the way, is still third all time. So disregard what I said earlier. It is third all time, surpassing Matt Ryan.
It is to just get the facts straight.
I mean, it's still not good.
The fact still stands that he combined has the largest dead cap number of $89 million. 89. Which surpasses the Russell Wilson contract of $85 million.
Let's ride.
Indeed.
Steelers country, let's weld. But
dude, if the Giants,
how does this happen?
If the Giants sign Russell Wilson, you have no idea how many like danger witch memes
we're gonna
make. Oh my god, no, we are going to run that into the ground.
We will run that into the ground. I will welcome it.
So what's crazy about this whole situation is, if this is a if he's cut pre-June 1st or post-June 1st, is actually a substantial amount of money between the two.
Obviously.
Well, it's not as substantial as you think it was.
Distinction.
It's not as substantial as you think it is. It's still a lot. It would be $52 million instead of $49 million.
You're still shaving $30 million. You could
largest dead cap in our history.
You could get a couple of starting offensive linemen for $30 million a year.
Oh, no kidding. But the big thing about this whole saga is that there is a good chance this starts a ripple effect in players getting moved. And I think this started with Rodgers. The next player that everyone's going to be asking about, I think we're going to find out about this sooner rather than later, is Garrett Wilson. And I think that's something that Darren Moogie and Aaron Glenn have to ask themselves. What are you doing with Garrett Wilson? Are you keeping him? Are you extending? I think they have to extend him if they're keeping him.
Because if you're gonna bring in a young quarterback down the road, you need that weapon there.
Exactly.
Like you don't let talent at that position walk out of the building. But
Exactly.
But in the draft, the Jets can draft Tet McMillan and reset the whole clock on the rookie contract instead of dumping a bunch of money on Garrett Wilson.
And the other question is a good friend, Davante Adams.
He's gone. He is.
Can we trade him to San Fran for Deebo Samuel? Is that like absurd?
He's not. You're going to have to attach a couple picks to that to get Deebo Samuel.
I know. But like, imagine though, if you want to talk about a blockbuster trade, Davante Adams and like a 3rd round pick and like a 6th.
What is Davante Adams' fiat value? Then what do you do with the Jets?
He was okay.
He had more touchdowns than I think he had the same amount or more than Alan Lazard. I don't even know.
I was wondering.
He was okay.
I was hoping that would work out.
The issue is that if you add the dead cap from cutting Davante Adams, the dead cap for those two combined would be approximately. Just throwing a ballpark out here. I haven't read the Davante dead cap because we don't even know if he's getting cut yet. It's around 70 mil total. For the year one, it'd be about 40. No, it's less the first year and higher the second year. So it'd be about 30 and 40. Just throwing a ballpark out there.
So the Jets are going to be paying 2 players.
We are the Minnesota Wild of football.
Yeah,
for 2 years.
Or the Mets last year.
Yeah, the Mets. Well, no, because the baseball doesn't have a cap. That's why I threw out Minnesota. No, I threw out Minnesota because of Parise and Suter. Because we're paying a ton of money to people to not play for us with a cap hit with salary cap. That's why I brought up the Suter and Parise contracts. Read on that because I love
pre like
2012,
pre-2012,
Zach
Parise,
pre-2013 NHL contracts were
insane.
I loved reading those.
Yeah.
So even my team signed Ilya Kovalchuk to it, or tried signing Ilya Kovalchuk to a. They tried signing him to a 17-year, $100-something million contract.
What? Oh yeah.
And then we got. We got nailed for trying to circumvent the cap, which that happens all the time. Like every other team tries cap gymnastics,
but they didn't.
Yeah, but what the hell do I know? But like they ended up the contract that they ended up actually signing him to was 15 years, and then 2 years in he left for Russia.
And they're still paying him.
I think we're 2 years away from getting rid of the Ilya Kovalchuk recapture penalty. No, if cap friendly were still around.
Well, I'll look at Puckpedia.
I mean, if we still had cap friendly, this would be a great time to use it. But Washington Capitals.
Oh, we'll use Puckpedia.
Although, hey, man, the Capitals, they've been doing good. So maybe the acquisition of cap friendly did something for them.
Oh wait, no, this is the last season of the recapture.
Okay, yeah. So we're one more year. I gotta plan like a party for that. Like I gotta do some kind of skit.
Ilya Cole
for the last year for being officially rid. Like I think on July 1st, we're officially rid of the $250,000 recapture penalty for Ilya Kovalchuk.
I mean, so the situation right now, the Jets are Aaron Rodgers is gone. We'll see if it's a pre or post June 1st cut. We'll hopefully find that out in the coming days, which I believe is what we'll hear from Coach Glenning and the GM Darren Moogie. But the question now for the Jets is what's next, and right now we don't know, but we do know what's next for the Boston Red Sox, and they went out and acquired Alex Bregman.
They sure did. They sure
and
did.
I didn't think he was going to get that AAV, but again, I hate how great of a fit that is.
It's double opt-out.
I hate how good of a fit that is.
Oh my god, it's immaculate.
Probably he's going to be playing second base.
I mean, he's a dead pull hitter.
He's going to be playing second base.
What's their infield now?
It's like him, Devers, and
Trevor Story.
He's healthy.
I'll believe it.
But then who would play shortstop for them?
Trevor Story.
He didn't play short for them last year.
I don't know.
They got to have Devers still playing at third, I guess.
So the one thing I know is that this rules out the trade for Nolan Arenado, obviously.
Nolan Arenado,
Nolan Arenado, you are stuck in St. Louis.
You are a New York Yankee.
He will probably. Well, again, it all depends on Marcus Stroman, and that's a.
I don't know.
The Twins, I guess, the Twins or the Tees. Sorry,
the Tees.
They lost
because they've done nothing.
The Tees.
Can you trade them to the? Oh no, the Tigers.
Wait. They did win a playoff series. I'll call them the Tins.
The Tins.
Well,
I
mean, the way they blew their playoff spot, they lost their name again.
Fair enough.
Maybe the Tees.
I think the question right now is what happens now. What are the expectations for the Boston Red Sox? Because now you have another player in the American League. Because if you think about the tiers of competition,
I think they're a playoff team.
No, they have to be considered at least
with the moves they made.
But the move they made, they traded for Garrett Crochet. They signed Walker Buehler. They've signed Alex Bregman, a top 5 free agent. That's immaculate from the Boston Red Sox.
I think with that team still with the pitching rotation and some of the pieces in the lineup,
the rotation is great.
A lot has to break right for them, though.
No,
gotta stay healthy.
I'm gonna tell you, Lucas Giolito,
that is true.
That's got to break right. Brian Bayo
has to do something.
That has to break right.
Prove me right, Brian
Walker Buehler. That has to break right. You got 3/5 of that starting rotation.
And also Garrett Crochet
that you are relying on.
And you need Tanner Houck.
You got to break right. Tanner Houck, I can trust Tanner Houck.
Can we though?
Like Tanner Houck, you know what you're going to get out of him.
Season.
He's a starter. Well, again, you can add him to the list. That just
let's go through the rotation.
Fuel to my point.
I mean, if you think about the rotation, we'll just name the 5 arms that we believe they will use. Walker Buehler, Garrett Crochet, Brian Bayo, Tanner Houck, and Giolito. First of all, on paper, that is a top 5 rotation in the American League. Near top 5 in the American League.
It's got to break right, though.
I don't think so. On paper,
there's a lot. It could be really good. There's a lot of upside, but there's a lot of downside.
It's high ceiling, low floor.
Yeah,
exactly.
High ceiling, really low floor.
Because the one thing you have to think about with this is that if this goes wrong, especially for the Red Sox sake, it doesn't end that terribly until you remember that 2 of those star players are on 1-year contracts.
They also have Cutter
Crawford, who hopefully won't have an ERA over 4 again. So he actually was pretty good last year. I'll give him that. The question for me is not the current state of the Boston Red Sox, but the future of Boston Red Sox. And the reason I'm saying the future is because 2 of those starters we talked about have 1-year contracts with Garrett Crochet and Walker Buehler. Lucas Giolito also is expiring very soon, and who knows what the future of the others. They are the hit or miss group of 2025. They are the group that have to make something out of what they have, but I think they have the pieces to do it. They add Alex Bregman. They have Rafael Devers. Jared Duran hopefully will continue to develop. There's 3 pieces that you already like. Do they make another move?
When did they get Aroldis Chapman?
That is why we don't remember anything. Their bullpen is terrible.
Justin Wilson still playing?
Yeah.
Their bullpen is the one thing that's going to hurt them. I think they have to make another move there.
Richard Fitz.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Richard Fitz.
Well, I mean, they lost Kenley Jansen, who went to the Angels.
Yeah, that's such an Angels signing.
He's making a lot of money, though. I'll give him that.
I mean,
Anthony Rendon's injured again.
Of course. Scott Boras.
I mean, I got to say this, though. The fact that, one, I think Alex Bregman actually has a chance to stay past the first year of the contract, unlike some other guys who have one opt-out year. We won't name some of those players because there's a ginormous list of them. But with what Alex Bregman brings, with the glove, with the bat, I think this is a perfect fit.
It's a big overpay, but it's definitely a fit.
It's an overpay that had to happen, though. Because you were either paying that money to Bregman or you were trading for the $37.5 million per year contract of Nolan Arenado.
I'd rather have Bregman than in that case.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the thought process you have to have because
he's not even going to be playing third. He's going to be playing second.
True. Yeah. I guess. Who's playing first? Oh, Casas.
That's right. Tristan Casas.
They still have.
If Casas, list their infield for us.
So Tristan Casas, Romy Gonzalez.
I forgot about him. He's not even good though.
Not that good.
Romy Gonzalez, Vaughn Grissom,
David Hamilton.
What a player, Vaughn Grissom. He's gonna play short for them.
Yeah, he's totally worth Chris Sale.
Why? Also, again, we gotta consider something else here.
What do we got?
The Boston Red Sox don't really have the best recent track record of developing the pitchers that they bring in.
I don't know.
Like
developing,
I don't know about.
Do they have to care
like,
about development other than Bregman Bayo?
The system there. Bregman Bayo has stalled out.
Well, because the rotation was terrible and they threw him in as an ace. He's not an ace caliber pitcher.
But it doesn't matter. You're pitching on a 5-day schedule. Dude, just look at the raw numbers of Bregman Bayo and
can we pull that up? Please?
See.
Bregman Bayo.
Which side?
Who I have a lot of upside part.
I mean, yeah, obviously he has upside, but it depends
tremendous upside.
It depends on if you can develop him.
Exactly.
And the Red Sox haven't shown me.
Should I go to Fangraphs or Baseball?
I'm gonna go with Fangraphs.
Savant, please.
Okay, I'll go both.
yeah, go to both.
The question for the Red Sox.
I mean, obviously, Bayo is going to have a lot of red because he has good raw stuff.
Yes.
But again, dude, like it's results.
I like the way you put that. The question
results,
now.
He hasn't gotten results.
So let's look at the American League as a whole before we go into Bregman Bayo. The American
he's
League.
like really red and ground ball percentage.
That's why I love about him.
Fastball below is like is there.
What are we at with the numbers?
With baseball Savant.
So
okay, there's not as much red. There's
not as much red.
There's 2
spikes
red.
of red. And it's a bunch of blue.
3 actually.
There's a lot of blue.
There is a ton of blue. The one thing I have with the blue, the walks number is not very good. What is
he has a 256 expected batting average against. He walks hitters. He strikes out hitters and limits walks at a below average.
I mean, I guess
rate.
Expected batting average seems to be in correlation with like
with
his ground ball percentage.
That slider is a lot. 87 mile an hour slider. That's the one thing I don't like about some pitchers now. That the slider and changeup like velo.
A sweeper now.
Or a sweeper. I don't even know what you
call the sweeper. A slider that
the
has
sweeper, you know.
A slider
what's the ERA of him?
His ERA.
ERA, please.
So
ERA. What's it like a 5?
Like 4.49.
That's what I was getting at.
Again, dude, like this guy doesn't have good peripherals.
No,
he doesn't have good results.
I
don't understand
his FIP is
why so many people. Yeah, again, dude, he doesn't have good peripherals.
Okay.
He doesn't have good peripherals. He doesn't have good actual numbers. So I must be missing something with Bregman Bayo because people for the last 3 years have been telling me, I've been seeing on my timeline on every single platform out there that, oh, this guy's a future top 20 starter. This guy's this guy's that. This guy's going to be an ace. It's like
ace is is saying a lot.
I've seen it. I've seen people say that.
No, I'm saying that him being an ace, I don't think that's the right way to put it. He's not an ace caliber pitcher.
Forget it. He's not putting up even like 4-starter numbers right now. And again, dude, you're saying that he was.
Year?
We just listed them all.
I thought you said about his career at ERA is 4.49
last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, last year. I'm looking at
4.49 ERA is kind of atrocious. But now, looking at the bigger picture in the American League, because right now I believe when I made my early playoff predictions yesterday, there's a couple of teams in the wild card race that are good but can still miss out. Do we throw the Red Sox into an automatic wildcard spot?
I don't know about automatic because there's too much downside there.
Well, I mean,
if we're gonna throw a team into an automatic wildcard spot in the American League, you got to have a really high floor.
So
and the Red Sox do not. I could see them winning. Like with the Red Sox, I can honestly see them winning 95 games. I could see them losing 95 games.
That's a very good way to put it.
There's a 30 win ballpark that we're throwing this into.
Who's going to be competing for those wild card spots?
So let's list some of those teams. So
it's about you have the Royals who are going to be better. You have the Orioles.
Have they done anything?
I don't know.
They were the team
just
I have
development,
the biggest,
raw development.
That's the team I have the biggest. I think it's going to get worse. Kansas City and Baltimore, though Bobby Witt's going to win American League MVP.
Baltimore,
or one of them. But they've done nothing. They signed Dylan Carlson. Congratulations, Dylan Carlson.
I'd be fine. I'd be fine with.
They lost Anthony
Baltimore.
Santander and Corbin Burns. Did nothing to replace them. Yes, that's a playoff contender. Absolutely.
I mean, but again, dude, like their player development. I mean, their development, at least of position players, has been really good.
Now, if only they had a pitching staff.
They're making me mad because they're not
issue.
actually doing anything to capitalize on their opportunity. They're not actually doing anything.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the main issue with them. They bring in this new owner. They bring in Rubenstein, who's this new owner who is going to be just this amazing guy who is going to spend so much money. He was going to be the opposite of Peter Angelos. And then they let Corbin Burns walk. Who was their highest profile. I thought it was a foregone conclusion that Corbin Burns was going to be an Oriole for the rest of his career.
I kind of thought so too. That would be the best investment.
Because again, it would have been for the PR. Again, I look at optics and PR when I look at moves that can be made. There's like when I thought of Juan Soto going to the Mets, you talk about the PR move from that of Steve Cohen. It's like the Mets are making a power play in kind of the turf war that now exists in New York baseball, or like always has existed, but like the turf war of New York baseball, stealing for my money the Yankees' best player.
I mean, also for that, Juan Soto was also a guy the Mets need to get anyway.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like, but regardless. But again, there was the added. Like if in that room, I'm sure there was talk of the PR. Like there was something that added to it.
Probably
like him stealing him from the Yankees and the boost that gave to that fan base.
Yeah, and probably jersey sales. What is it?
It's something with the Jets, but we're done with the Jets.
Yeah,
we should probably talk about the game that happened last week.
Oh yeah.
I think one more thing though before we go, with baseball, you talk about the wild card teams. Let's list at some teams that will be in the wild card conversation. So you have the second place team of the American League West, whether it be I believe the Astros or the Rangers, depending on who sucks more.
The Mariners.
The Mariners who also have done Nothing.
The Mariners, it was such an easy fix. They just needed to get a couple hitters, and they
didn't
do
that.
Now
they didn't do that.
Now, if only they signed Christian Walker or Pete Alonso. They did neither of them. You have the Detroit Tigers, who I'm in love with.
They got.
Can they trade for Nolan, please? They need a third baseman. They need some form of offense. Spencer Torkelson is not it. Sorry, Spencer Torkelson. They have, and then you have the Royals, the Tigers, Cleveland, whoever doesn't win the division out there. And you have the Yankees, the Reds. So the Yankees are winning the division. Red Sox,
Orioles,
and Baltimore, I think, who I don't have them in a playoff spot right now.
In Tampa Bay, you always got to look out for them.
They have Shane McClanahan, but their rotation is not good.
That rotation is elite for like a month before their elbows tear apart.
The Blue Jays look
No.
I'm not. Let's not throw that in there.
The team is slightly better, but like I don't know if they're.
I wouldn't put them in there. I have them in last actually right now.
That would be funny.
I know.
That would be pretty funny.
I have them in last and trading Vlad and Bo Bichette. Right now, at least I have them in last. Though,
man, that would be nice. That would be nice. That team.
Hey, Vlad, you want to play for the Mariners?
That team got on my nerves so much.
Okay. Again, I think I mentioned this like probably last show or something. They lost back-to-back playoff series to the Mariners, who hadn't made the postseason in like 20 years. They got swept by them, and then the next year they lose to the Twins, who didn't win a playoff game for 18 years.
The
Twins. That is their legacy. That is that Blue Jays team's legacy. Losing to those two teams.
Oh, absolutely. That's one way to put
core.
That core.
Everyone anointed as winning at least like one World Series in the 2020s. We thought they would be. Yeah, I was scared of them.
Yeah,
that team scared me.
They were good.
Like in 2020, I was saying, like, dude, watch out for that team. Like the Blue Jays, they're going to be an issue.
And now their legacy is losing to like the biggest snake-bitten teams in the AL in the first round.
But the American League is a complete disaster because there's honestly more parity in the midfield than we thought there was going to be. Add in the Boston Red Sox, but the top of the
it's just a bunch of slop.
It's
and whatever they get, whatever the AL
it's like you have your main course with the Yankees, then the American League West winner, and then you have your side dishes.
And whatever the side
like
whatever
the
AL Central produces.
Whatever AL Central team
like
becomes cannon fodder.
I meant like the AL Central and the wild card teams are all those side dishes. Like you have
your
green beans, you have your stuff. Speaking like I'm Thanksgiving, but it's actually February. So speaking on the February theme. we forgot to talk more football because the Super Bowl happened, and I almost ignored it, just like he almost ignored the entire game. So
out of protest,
out of protest, you could say. But back to the Super Bowl, and AKA the day to celebrate the brotherly shove, you can say. The Philadelphia Eagles have won the Super Bowl. Hold on,
again.
I gotta go back.
No,
they've won it again. Yes.
No.
Yes.
On
The
a
Philadelphia
New York
Eagles-
station. On a New York station, you make me sick.
So the reason I did that is because I don't like the Kansas City Chiefs. And
Nobody likes the Kansas City Chiefs.
but I actually
but you somehow like the Eagles.
No, I rooted for.
That's what it sounds like.
We
right
rooted
now.
for the Meteor, obviously. But
All of us rooted for the
But
Meteor.
I'm a fan of an AFC team. I am glad the AFC team didn't win because I'm tired of
the
the
chat's getting on your nerves. Is getting on you too.
Hey JJ, I'm sorry, bro, but I do not like I hate the Chiefs more than I hate the Philadelphia Eagles.
That's a wild statement.
I know because, dude, so at least you get your team beat the Philadelphia Eagles. We can't beat the Chiefs.
When?
Last season.
Since when did the Giants
Didn't you beat them
the-
last season?
In the game, it didn't matter.
You still beat them.
And then we let Saquon Barkley walk to them, and he broke like multiple records. And
Okay,
he
you know
ended
what?
up winning
Great
a Super
point from
Bowl.
the chat.
I will say he was a non-factor in that game. That made it easier to stomach.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley being a non-factor in that
absolutely.
game was fine. Like I'm like, okay, at least it wasn't him running for like 170 yards and 2 touchdowns.
No, I would have made it really funny. But yes, the most hated person, my most hated thing in the world right now is Woody Johnson instead of the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm just also disappointed the Chiefs did like nothing.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, dude, Mahomes. I gotta say, dude, I gotta tip my cap to that Eagles team. Like I'm saying, from a strictly football standpoint, I have never seen a supposed all-time great quarterback look that lost and that just rattled in the backfield. Yeah. They did not blitz once, and I think Patrick Mahomes faced pressure on 50% of his dropbacks.
I mean, I'm not
that defense, which nobody talked about all year because everyone was so focused on the Saquon storyline and the tush push and all that, but everyone forgot, dude, that defense, which ranked 30th in the league last year, did a complete 180, and then they just became a unit, just monsters, man. Yeah. You got guys coming off the bench too. You got like Josh Sweat, Milton Williams.
Josh Sweat.
I mean, like Brandon Graham came back for that game. Like that was a ridiculous group, and not to mention the linebackers like Zach Bond. Where did he come from?
And the D line too,
dude. That I was
the
just
secondary.
The
secondary.
And then you got Cooper DeJean,
the white corner.
Cooper
I'm not gonna,
DeJean is
dude.
not a safety.
Despite Cooper DeJean being an Eagle, he is still one of my favorite players in this league.
And you talked a lot of hate about me rooting for the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
No, I'm talking about individual players. If Cooper DeJean. If Cooper DeJean was not a Philadelphia Eagle, he would be my
Yes,
yeah.
You can't say that.
The first one to have a pick six since Jason Sehorn.
Oh my god!
Against the Philadelphia Eagles in the year of our Lord 2001.
Jeez, 2001.
Cooper DeJean.
Cooper DeJean is not a safety.
I didn't watch Super Bowl because I did not want to listen to 4 hours of Tom Brady.
Mute the screen, watch it in Spanish. Like, do something different.
Well, I also didn't want to watch the game.
Well,
anyway.
the only reason I kind of enjoyed watching the game was because I had a gathering with people. Ironically enough, I had a gathering with people who did not care that much about football, and I just got to sit down and maybe had a Super Bowl party in the esports. We had we had a little private party, and it was. Like it was really fun.
Sehorn walked so Cooper could run.
Okay. Yeah. Here's the difference between Jason Sehorn and Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean is just like a startable corner or a startable defensive back. Jason Sehorn was like one of the best ball hawks in the league.
And when he played,
he was an athletic freak before he got hurt. Yeah. Like, that guy was insane. Like he had like 6 picks one year.
That's insane.
Jason Sehorn. No, not only was he the elephant in the room that we can't really say on air, but he was elite at his position. He was an athlete. No, he wasn't sneaky athletic. He was just athletic.
Yeah.
It was 20 years ago. You know how rare that is. So, like, he was a monster when he played. But again, like, that Eagles team, they were elite at every single position except, ironically, quarterback. And he looked pretty serviceable in that game. But he didn't have to do that much. He won Super Bowl MVP, which, if you think about it, Super Bowl MVP, like, that award has kind of been
you got the pick six.
Like, it's kind of been devalued. It's kind of been devalued to the point where it's just a quarterback award.
I agree with
It's become a quarterback award.
I 100% agree.
I mean, you got like I think the last time a non-quarterback won Super Bowl MVP was Julian Edelman.
Was it Julian Edelman? Wasn't it?
Who was the guy on the Seahawks?
That's a
Malcolm Smith.
It
was Julian Edelman, then Malcolm Smith. Between that, it was just quarterbacks.
Well, it was Tom Brady a lot.
I mean, Tom Brady.
Manning.
Von Miller.
Yeah,
Von
Miller. Yeah.
Oh no, Peyton Manning didn't win.
No, Von Miller.
It was Von Miller.
Okay. Okay. Malcolm Smith, Von Miller.
Ooh, Cooper Kupp.
That's right.
Oh yeah, Cooper Kupp. Oh my
God. Who's also getting traded?
Who's also getting traded? Yeah.
Another sneaky, athletic, high motor.
Well,
intangibles, lunch pail, first guy in, last guy out type of guy.
Yes,
he might get traded. Also, along with another.
Oh yeah, shout out to JJ.
Do we want to do the?
Shout out to JJ, who I know is in chat and writing under his channel account. Because he is a Rams fan, and that's why he's writing in chat. So I know JJ, you're watching this. I know we may or may not have forgot about Cooper Kupp, because like his entire last season, to me, he was completely irrelevant. Go back to what you were saying.
Okay, so again, I just want to give my last bit of flowers to that Eagles team, because we can, like, watching that game, and if you think about it,
dude, as quick as they beat
that team, was. We're gonna remember that team as one of the best teams that was ever assembled. I mean, that team, nobody was beating that team. Out of the AFC or the NFC, no matter how you slice it, nobody was beating them.
The only team that probably had a chance is probably the Lions, but like even then they were like,
I mean, they were hurt.
They were hurt.
And also they're the Lions. We can't forget that.
I still think they had the best chance.
I mean, they had a good chance. I mean, the Rams kept it close with them. The Rams almost won.
In a snow game, too.
Yeah, in a snow game, which, speaking of the Rams, we got to touch on this.
Yes, about
a little bit. There are some rumors talking about New York quarterbacks.
It's that time of the year.
There are rumors about Matthew Stafford possibly getting traded to the Giants.
I didn't hear about this till they talked about it. So
I mean, it's been
a
big talking point. There was some. I mean, I'll pull up this tweet here. I think it's in my legs.
Can I bring up one thing before we go into that? Because there's one more Super Bowl Eagles comment I wanted to make. So everyone, we look at quarterbacks. Who was the last AFC quarterback to beat the Eagles?
I already know.
You know it already.
The last AFC quarterback to beat the Eagles?
Who is the last AFC quarterback to beat the Eagles?
Patrick Mahomes.
No.
Oh, Zach Wilson.
It was interception magnet Zach Wilson. The Jets forced 5 turnovers and almost lost, but still beat the Philadelphia Eagles because Zach Wilson was terrible. There you go. The Jets defense defeated the Philadelphia Eagles. It was not the Jets offense. It was the Jets defense. Defeated the Philadelphia Eagles on a great day last year, in which I predicted that would happen. Not once, but twice. And debunk the rumors I would. Yeah, I know. Listen, I don't think it will happen with Matthew Stafford going to the Giants.
Either.
I don't think the Giants do they even have the money to do that?
I mean, the Giants, I'm about to pull
They must have.
They must tweet right now from these are some like fringe sources who have gotten things right in the past. This was from
fringe sources. Hold on.
I'm grasping it. Dude, it is we know what time of year we're in right now, man. But
oh yeah.
This is from Big Blue Interactive, which was a fan site who was in on the rumors about going back to the days of Plaxico Burress and the Eli Manning trade. So this guy's been around for a while. He says, quote, "The interest in Stafford is real. Don't shoot the messenger." And I've been told other teams are also in pursuit, but the Giants' interest in Stafford is real. Both draft pick compensation and money have been discussed. So this is, according to this, which again, take it with a mountain of salt. But there is something. This isn't just like talking points for the sake of talking points. This could very much happen. And when you have a GM on the hot seat, it's if the Giants are choosing between getting a quarterback who can help them win now and getting a quarterback who can develop and help them win a couple years down the road, they're going to choose the quarterback that can help them win now because John Mara is like his finger is going to hover over the trigger all next year. Joe Shane and Brian Dable, they got guns to their head, dude. Yeah. If they don't win and win now, they're gone.
Yeah.
But which has me concerned in a few other ways. But if you're gonna make a move for a quarterback, if you can make it work without giving up any your current or future first round picks, I'll do it. Right. If you want me to give up like a second rounder for Matthew Stafford,
and then we draft Abdul Carter.
I mean, dude, I will do backflips. Like that is my dream offseason. If we trade for Matthew Stafford and draft Abdul Carter. It's like, even though Travis Hunter is really good, I think playing both sides of the ball in the MetLife turf as a skill position player
is not a good.
You're gone. You're gone. I can't believe the people haven't brought up that talking point. Initially at first I didn't think about it, but after thinking about it for a little longer, I'm like, okay.
He's spending on that turf all day.
Yeah, he's going to be on that turf. He's going to be playing.
He has more opportunity for
He's going to be playing 95% of the snaps on defense. And he's going to be playing around 20 to 25 snaps on offense as a skill position on both sides of the ball. On the non-contact knee injury capital of the world. That is a torn ACL waiting to happen every single year.
I mean, to be fair, if
Travis Hunter gets drafted by the Giants, he will become a major what if in NFL history. Like that is a what if waiting to happen. Like, wow, what if Travis Hunter didn't tear his Achilles and his ACL and his MCL all in the same play?
But what if he's good?
Well, what if
he's good? Yeah, he'll be good. I don't doubt that he's going to be good. He's a freak.
Yeah.
But if I just don't, I'm not that sure of the fit.
But what if both of them don't fall to you at the third pick? There's a good chance Abdul Carter goes first overall.
Or second overall or whatever.
And then Travis Hunter goes second to get wasted in with the Cleveland Browns.
Okay, in that case, we'll just draft Cam Ward and whatever.
I thought you said you weren't trying to develop anybody.
I mean, well, if the case is that Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter are gone, then
the Browns aren't drafting a quarterback.
Then regardless,
so
I think both of those teams really need quarterbacks.
The Browns have stated they're not doing it. The Browns have stated they're not doing it.
Teams will say a million things.
If
you see two quarterback needy teams at the top of a draft class, and there are two clear-cut top 5-able prospects, you are taking
one of them.
The two quarterback. Those quarterbacks are going 1 and 2. Cam Ward and Shadur Sanders are seen.
Sanders is not a top 5 pick player.
In this,
I hate how
bare minimum, those quarterbacks are going 3 and 6.
No.
At bare minimum, those guys aren't making it out of the top 10.
Have you never watched drafts before?
We watched last year.
Covered the whole thing.
Went 12th overall. Did you see how many quarterbacks last year?
But those quarterbacks were passable. Those quarterbacks are passable.
Everybody thought the Broncos were nuts for drafting Bo Nix.
They had to draft Bo Nix because he would have gone to Las Vegas.
I would have lost my mind if the Giants drafted JJ McCarthy.
If the Giants drafted, we were talking all night. If the Giants drafted JJ McCarthy, we were done. As fans, we were done. If the Giants drafted JJ McCarthy. So many teams overdraft on quarterbacks. But again, I think these two quarterbacks, at least as prospects going into the draft, I like them more than I liked Bo Nix and Michael Penix and JJ McCarthy. I like him so much more than I like JJ McCarthy. Why on earth did he get drafted that high? I don't understand why so many people were high on JJ McCarthy. We're gonna tell soon enough
when he's healthy. Hopefully,
I mean we're gonna see soon enough just how right I am about JJ McCarthy as a prospect.
Speaking of JJ McCarthy, and I don't think we really answered the question considering it's the title. Aaron Rodgers is going to the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, we're pretty sure he's going to the Minnesota Vikings.
Minnesota
for the Brett Favre prophecy.
For the Brett Favre prophecy,
it has to happen.
All right, mock draft. Let's read it. With the first pick, the Tennessee Titans select Abdul Carter from Penn State. The Browns actually take a quarterback, okay, and they take a Cam Ward.
Have you seen Deshaun Watson play?
They don't have money to do anything.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, dude. You'd see these teams are so hungry to draft a quarterback at a moment's notice, dude. I'm partially scared of the Giants drafting Jackson Dart 3rd overall.
The 3rd pick is Shedeur Sanders, who I think is terrible.
I mean, I don't think he's tough. I've watched
he played in the Big 12.
There's
no defense in the Big 12. There's no defense in the Big 12 now or previously. The 4th pick, the Patriots.
I think
Travis Hunter. I'm scared of that.
I think I like Cam Ward better as a.
I like Cam Ward. Cam Ward has more upside. I think Shedeur Sanders is a higher floor.
Okay,
but again, dude, we've seen these Big 12 quarterbacks work out.
True.
I think we say again, like Kyler Murray,
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes played in the Big 12. He has no problem. But I mean, it's kind of bad timing right now. But Patrick Mahomes is gonna retire as one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the sport.
Yeah, right. All right, let's keep running it through. We'll just go through the top 10. 5th pick is Mason Graham. I think it's a perfect fit with Jacksonville. 6th is McMillan to Vegas.
Really?
Oh, receiver.
Well, it depends on who.
Okay.
Well, this probably is taking into account that they're getting a quarterback in some way.
With the 7th,
it's too early for the draft.
With the 7th pick, the New York Jets select Will Johnson from Michigan. That's the perfect fit.
That's a no-brainer. Talk about that secondary.
Another tall corner because we're losing DJ Reed. With the 8th pick, the Panthers select Jalen Walker from Georgia. I hate that idea. Another edge rusher for them. I thought they would take Stewart from A&M.
Hey, dude, I will never fault the team for stacking up on the defensive line.
But I'm saying like up the middle.
I feel like with the Super Bowl, you're gonna see a lot of teams. Like again, that Super Bowl made me a lot higher on Abdul Carter to the Giants.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that like even if we don't get a quarterback, it's gonna be tough to pass on that. It's tough, dude. Because
it's like him or it's either him or Travis Hunter too. Those are not.
I'd much rather have Abdul Carter over Travis Hunter.
I mean, yeah.
And then, just in terms of
whatever scenario,
oh my God.
Scenario.
I mean, you are setting yourself up to have like a top 5 defensive line for like the next at least 5 years, because you would have Brian Burns, and Dexter Lawrence, who already when Dexter Lawrence was healthy, that defensive line led the league in sacks through the first 7 weeks.
And then you rotate Thibodeau and Carter.
Oh yeah, you have Abdul Carter will play most of the snaps, but again, you could just move one of them to the inside. Yeah. We saw what they did in the 2000s.
Or whether they keep Azeez Ojulari, which I don't think they will.
I don't think they'll keep Azeez Ojulari, but again, you know what? Or you could just draft, and you could draft a defensive tackle. Yeah, that's the D tackle depth in this draft. I've done a lot of mock draft sims on PFF because I just want to get to know this class a little more. There are a ton of defensive tackles who have positive pass rush win rates.
Right.
I think you could in the 5th round, dude. There's this D tackle, Anenis Peebles from Virginia Tech, who I think could be pretty solid. Because again, dude, you're just bringing him in to be next to Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah. Do we want to switch? What do you want to switch to the next topic?
Oh yeah, so we'll wrap it up with this topic. It is time to head to the ice as we are heading to the Four Nations.
Oh, that game was so good.
That game was so good.
That game was great.
I wasn't super high on the tournament. I don't know if I really am, but if we get games like we had last night, we can have fun with this. We can. There's definitely fun that we had. So last night, to open up the Four Nations face-off, which in French, it translates to confrontations of four nations.
It sounds like a war. I think
that
for
sounds
war.
Weird.
That's not a thing for war.
Funny.
I mean, you look at French history; they know a thing or two about war. I'm talking going back to the Napoleon days.
But basically, Canada and Sweden.
They know a thing or two.
Canada and Sweden had their game last night. A great game. Well, it got off to a rough start for Sweden, where they were getting nothing.
They were getting. I thought they were going to get run out of the building. After that first power play, when I saw that that box score, it's like McKinnon assisted by Crosby and McDavid. Yeah, we know who's winning this thing. We know who's winning this thing. No, it's Canada's to lose.
But then credit to Sweden. They fought back the last 2 periods.
Oh my God. And that overtime.
It was so great.
Oh, it was so much talent and all the open space. And then also just saying, dude, when the rush chance for Sweden before Marner scored the winner.
His advantage had also had a chance to win
it was what the hell are they thinking putting him as their 1C?
I don't know. I thought he looked pretty decent.
I mean, he looked okay, but like, dude, you have Elias Paris in there. But anyway, I digress. But when on the rush chance for 4, Jesper Bratt makes a tape-to-tape pass to his teammate at the front of the net that he can't pot home. I cannot tell you how familiar that looked. Jesper Bratt, who had he had a pretty good game.
And Empire Sports Media is doing commentary for the 4 Nations.
Yeah, I know. You get a shameless plug to a rival brand of mine. Shout rival brand. But the question now with the 4 Nations, first of all, I love this, but Luke and I were talking about this before. We did have an injury last night with Shea Theodore. Which hold on. So before you think of anything, we're going to put 2 and 2 together real quick. Shea Theodore plus Vegas Golden Knights plus injury.
There's a lane.
Where does that all connect to?
Cap space.
Post
deadline cap space.
The Kelly McCrimmon's looking at the LTR, like the Green Goblin mask.
The LTIR merchants are back again. Dude, what devious magic do they have? Like, I'm serious. Like the magic they could have.
I mean, there's
to
something
free up cap space.
If
I wish I could learn that to do if
Mikko Rantanen wasn't already traded, I'm sure that would have been in the works.
Yep.
Mikko Rantanen going to the Vegas Golden Knights would have been a lock if he wasn't already traded.
Night?
Yeah, Canada's goaltending is very weak.
There are 5 Canadian goaltenders who have a 900 save percentage. None of them are on the team.
Can we list 5 of them? Can we list through them?
Mackenzie, where's Mackenzie Blackwood?
Not there.
Mackenzie Blackwood, dude, he's been really good this year.
He's Colorado, right?
Yeah. I mean, he took a while. He took a while to develop.
I know. Yeah, but basically, Canada has goalies are Jordan Binnington, Sam Montembeault, and Aiden Hill.
Aiden Hill?
Yeah.
I mean, he won a Stanley Cup, dude.
I know he won a Stanley Cup, but like those.
I think any goalie could have won a cup on that team.
I don't know.
I mean, I have opinions about him as the player, but why is Marc-Andre Fleury not one of the goalies here?
He's kind of old. Like,
again, dude, just bring him on for the ride.
I know.
I guess
he's retiring after this year.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I have polarizing views about him as a player. Person's great, but the player I have like polarizing views on. But still, I feel like he should be on this team.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's go into this question now. First of all, the United States.
They play
Finland tonight. Yo, in hockey, Finland's one of my ops.
The ops are Finland,
dude. Finland with their
Finns,
all those countries, all the other countries with their.
I think there's a chance if Mackenzie Black was on the Colorado earlier, he probably might have been on.
I mean, with all 3 other countries there with their happiness indexes and their universal health care.
the happiest station.
The happiness index. Oh, Finland. Oh, we have good education. We pay our teachers $100,000 a year.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, we don't go into medical debt.
but now that game has tonight. Finland and USA have to somehow follow up the masterpiece of a game.
No. The only way I want to see that game go is see us blow out Finland like 6-0. No, I need to see Jack Hughes score a hat trick.
Assist all by Adam Fox.
Yeah, assist by Adam Fox. Yo, we're teaming up. We're rooting for players. Yo, I will root for Adam Fox. You will root for Jack Hughes.
Yes.
What is that? What is this? Like, are we like uniting under one?
It's 4 nations facing off.
Yeah, we're uniting. We're uniting under the American flag. It's like I have my problems and my reservations with like national pride right now, but like when push comes to shove, I'm rooting for my country, man. It's like I don't care. Also, Saturday, USA Canada.
Oh,
in the Bell Center. In the Bell Center. Oh my God. With everything that's going on lately, the trade war,
that's
the annexation threats.
That is,
oh my God. This is already two countries that on a hockey rink hate each other.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to hockey, we hate Canada.
And it's best on best. It's best on best.
Best on best.
So I feel like Canada didn't pick up the best roster, but that's irrelevant.
The U.S. also left a little meat on the bone, but again,
he was also left too.
I mean, yeah. Both every country kind of left a little meat on the bone.
So the question right now is going to be for this tournament: one, who do you have in the final? Who do you have winning? We'll start with there before we talk about one more thing that I know you wanted to bring up because you sent it to me last night. So who do you have in the final? Who do you have winning it all?
I have. It's kind of tough, dude, because I think Canada is definitely one of the teams in the final.
I want to say USA, but I feel like that's
I want to say USA, but I want to say the US because, again, just look at the goaltending.
I mean, they have the
goaltending. Again, ironically enough, dude, what really influences this? Jacob Markstrom going down a couple weeks ago. If Sweden's goalie was Jacob Markstrom, I'd feel a lot better about their chances. But again, dude, there's
Markstrom or old Mark.
Yeah, there's a massive goaltending diff there with the U.S. because they got Connor Hellebuck back there.
Yeah. And then
they have Connor Hellebuck and Jake Ottinger.
And then Swayman behind.
Jeremy Swayman.
A good season, but that's where.
But again, he's not gonna.
I think the U.S. has the best roster, top to bottom, at least depth wise.
I mean, with goaltending, the U.S. has better goaltending. Forward core Canada blows them out of the water.
They have much higher end talent, up the top of the line.
I mean, defensively, the U.S. I mean, their forwards. I'm very intrigued. I mean,
the defense.
I'm looking at their lines. I am so excited to see Jack Hughes play on a line with Austin Matthews.
I'm so excited to see
and he's on there. I like the trust that they're giving Jack Hughes. They're putting him on their top power play unit. It's he's I think I don't know if it's just a hunch here. This is definitely me being biased, but also another storyline here: the mantle of Captain America, at least in hockey.
Who's going to
is up for grabs because TJ Oshie's not there anymore. TJ Oshie after 2014, he was Captain America. He was Captain America. But again,
I guess also Joe Pavelski being gone too.
Joe.
I mean, who's gonna take that?
Or I guess
that mantle. I think there are multiple. Jack Hughes,
Austin Matthews,
Jack Hughes. Well, again, dude, it's whoever performs the bestness, whoever has the most clutch moments.
There's going to be I'm just throwing out there a 3-on-3 overtime of Matthews, Hughes, and Fox potentially.
I
don't know how many. The only when I was watching that 3-on-3 overtime,
when they put up McKinnon and McDavid on the same line, I was like,
yeah, I saw McDavid. I saw McDavid, McKinnon, Makar. I'm like, what? I'll give Philip Gustafson credit. I'll give Philip Gustafson credit. He stood on his head in that overtime.
He did.
Holy.
And it took Mitch Marner had a fantastic shot to win the game.
Yeah.
Too.
So Mitch Marner's also on that team.
Oh yeah.
It just matter of fact.
And Sidney Crosby.
Sidney Crosby. It took him 5 minutes into that overtime for Sidney Crosby to even step onto the ice.
We need 10-minute overtime.
We do need 10-minute
overtime.
In
the NHL.
And also we need the point system that they're using in regular NHL hockey. We need
how does their point system work?
I don't mind the 2 points.
Well, 3 points for regulation win, no points for regulation loss. 2 points for overtime shootout when only 1 point. You see less people trying to go for overtime then.
I'm fine with keeping the 2 points for both wins. It just complicates it less.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it's less mathematics and arithmetics and gymnastics that we have to do. As fans. As fans, there's a lot less we need to do.
Clear cut though.
Right.
It would be more clear cut and sure, hypothetically. But again, this works in an international format where you can be a little more gimmicky. But I think in the NHL, you got to just keep the 2 points. I'm okay with bringing back ties. But again, even that's kind of lame.
Yeah. All right. So basically the final topic that was also announced yesterday before the game. World Cup of Hockey's back on, guys.
Yeah.
And it's going to be coming in 2028. So at least for right now, I think with the NHL planning to send their players to the Olympics next year and in 2030, they're gonna have alternating years, every 2 years.
Every 2 years.
I actually like that.
Hockey. I'm significantly more hyped for the Olympics.
Of
course. Dude, the Olympics. That's where That is the second biggest prize you can win in hockey.
Yes.
So the Stanley Cup is an Olympic gold medal.
That'll be fun, especially like
It's
how
best
many
on best
different
again.
teams there can be. Like as well, there'll be a lot more nations, more than just 4. How many? There'll be 8?
Switzerland's a threat now.
So
again, dude,
shout out to my last
are we
name.
gonna see Russia there?
I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know.
I think Russia. I think there's a bunch of hypocrisy there with blocking Russia out.
I think we got to figure out the geopoliticals of that, but that's not why we're here to discuss.
Yeah. But again, dude, when you talk about international sports, like geopolitics, you're going to run into that inevitably. That's why the USA-Canada matchup is bigger than it usually is.
Yeah.
Like this year, because you got the geopolitics of the trade war and the potential trade war that like may or may not be happening, and also like the 51st state thing. Like there's a lot there.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of passion there in the Bell Center. Dude, if you thought the anthem got booed a couple weeks ago,
yeah, but
but
but this is why international hockey is so back.
Dude, we're back.
We're finally back with best on
we are
best.
so back.
We are so back.
It's not a bunch of minor leaguers now. It's the best versus the best, mono. It's so much fun.
So high quality too.
Yeah,
High
and also I think that they're projecting to have like 8 teams in the World Cup, but and no gimmick teams.
No gimmick teams.
No
No
gimmick
team
teams.
Europe and no team North
But
America.
also, I'm like concerned if
yeah.
they're gonna use the World Cup, they're gonna probably only have like ideally one for the NHL. They only want their own players and not have to like work the IHF at all.
Oh yeah.
So it'd be like USA, Canada.
Yeah. Because I saw there's like only like 7 Slovakians in the NHL right now.
7?
Only 7.
Wow.
At least the quant. It was a far cry from like with their big 3 like Chara, Hossa, and Gabriel. Like they're
my
since
God.
retired.
Yeah,
like the active leader from Slovakians is in points is Thomas Tatar.
Jeez.
And then second place is Eric Chernak.
I could tell you that
Eric
Tomas
Chernak.
Tatar is not what he used to be.
Oh my God. Well,
see, that's the only reason why I would like say merging would be a good team if you want to fill out teams. But I think
and then you'd have Slovakia. No, who would you merge with? Czechia? What? Czechoslovakia?
Czechoslovakia
back.
More geopoliticals, yes. But we could talk about hockey. We could talk about sports all day long. But unfortunately, that is where today will be ending. That is the end of today's edition of Ball Knowers. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. For Luke Dolan and Cam Woolley, I'm Robbie Basil saying so long. We'll see you guys next time.
Back.
You're listening to WIUR Sports Radio.